Hi everyone, I'm Matt Jemmett, and today on Played in Canada, I'm showcasing the, yes, I'm gonna say it, the mother equals repeater from Mile End Effects out of Montreal, Quebec. Mile End Effects started as many other pedal companies do, as someone who wants to create guitar effects for their friends and themselves, but it has evolved into more than that, and that only spells good things for anyone who likes guitar pedals like you and I. The motherfucker equals repeater is a cassette tape delay saturation and has many usable sounds and abilities that many other tape delays do not have. Don't worry, we'll show those off in the video. Starting at the top left and going right, you've got the delay level, which is how wet the sound is. The LFO speed, which is how fast the wibbly wobblies happen. That's Time Lord speak for modulation, by the way. The LFO depth, which is how drastic the random modulation and artifacts are. The volume is for the master volume for the pedal. Then back over to the left and down a row, you've got the time and repeats for the delay, which is straightforward. Then you've got the wet switch, which drops your dry signal out completely and just lets the altered delay signal remain. Many people would wonder why you would want to hear that. Well, it's very useful in studio setups, and if you want to get really crazy, yeah, use that switch. There's a wave switch, which changes the shape of the LFO modulation, and the switch that turns on the preamp circuit. The preamp circuit's gain is then controlled by the gain knob just to the right of that final switch. Then there are two foot switches. One is to bypass the effect, and the other is a ramp switch, essentially setting the pedal into oscillating territory on command. It's a fairly big pedal, but that makes sense because it's got a lot going on. The aesthetics, the color scheme, and how it's constructed, it's all top-notch. I hope everyone has been looking out for themselves during these tumultuous times. It's been hard for some, including myself, to feel inspired and creative. Sometimes you just need to give yourself some time and then pick things back up and keep moving forward. Thank you for checking out this channel, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so real quick before we get to the good stuff. I also wanted to give a shout out to Jim from Spector's Demos. He loaned me the pedal to do this and essentially told me to have fun with it. Hats off to an awesome guy who wanted to lift up another fellow YouTube guitar pedal demoer. It's people like him that helped make 2020 a little more bearable. Now let's get to checking out this killer delay pedal. Turn the time control clockwise and it makes the time between the repeats shorter. Counterclockwise makes them longer. I find the sweet spot for the repeats control is somewhere between 2 and 230, just on the edge of dropping off into chaos. Turning on the wet switch, I've cut the dry or original signal completely, so you only hear the quivering and shaking repeats from the delay. This is really useful in the studio, and also to hear what your repeats are doing, because sometimes it's so subtle you don't notice the difference unless you just hear it. Now imagine having a looper pedal to be able to take something like that pad and continually have it underneath your playing. It'd be super cool. Now it can take you into an oscillated mess, or it can just add a little spice or flair to your playing. If you use the pedal's preamp, the overall sound can get really loud, so you'll probably have to use it and the master volume quite a bit to find where you want it to be and sit. And the great part about the preamp is you can get it dirty sounding, a little lo-fi, a little crackly, if you will, if you need to. So far, it has been the unaltered fuzz, but let's see what it sounds like when we flip on the preamp. It's all riff town right now, but it's about to get wobbly and bendy in just a second. Now, because the time is so short between repeats, the LFO doesn't have time to actually flavor or color the sound of the fuzz. But that's going to change. The fantastic thing about this pedal is, even with all its weirdness that it can go to, it can still sound really pretty. Well, folks, that was the motherfucker equals repeater. I never get tired of saying its name. And that's from Mile End Effects, made in Canada, played in Canada. Go check out Mile End Effects. I'll put the links in the description below that'll lead you to their website and social media sites. If you liked today's video, consider giving it a thumbs up. To see future videos, be sure to subscribe and click the bell icon to be notified when I'm showcasing another piece of Canadian gear. You can also find me sharing behind the scenes things on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, all at Played in Canada. But for now, thanks for watching everyone. I'm Matt Jemmett, and this has been Played in Canada.